This is Doug Vahrenberg and welcome back to another set of tips and tricks. And today I'm going to talk to you about the most awesome feature in a Humminbird fish finder. Whether it be in the Helix, the Core series, our previous generation, or the new Onyx, they all have this feature. No, it's not a settings control. It's the ability to restore your unit back to defaults. What it does is gives you the ability to go out and try to tweak that unit to get the most optimum settings for the conditions that you're facing that day. But gives you the ability to go back to the factory defaults if you get them out of whack. I mean, if you get this unit where the picture is horrible, all you got to do is restore defaults. It's also one of the greatest features if you're having a weird concern or an issue with the unit, like GPS ain't working or sonar ain't working, go in and restore defaults. Sometimes it's just like my computer. I have to shut it down and reboot. That's the same thing the restore default function is going to do for you. So if you have something weird happen, first step of troubleshooting is restore defaults. That's what I do. Now I'm going to show you how simple and easy. In the Core series and the Helix series, they have the same menu system. So all you have to do is hit menu twice, and you're going to scroll across till you see the screwdriver and the wrench. That is our setup menu. When you come down to the setup menu, you will see a function called restore defaults. You hit restore defaults, it's going to ask you if you want to confirm to go on. If you answer yes, it will take it back to factory settings. And you will need to reset your settings in the unit on the Core and Helix series. It is now restored, and you can see right there, it went from my color palette that I like to use to this color palette. That is one of the things when you restore defaults, it's going to restore back to where the factory set everything for that unit, that software. It's a great feature, makes it simple and easy to use and not have to worry about getting something out of whack. Give it a try. Now, the Onyx is a little bit different. We're going to come over here. Actually, we're going to come over to our home key. Touchscreen or non-touch version both work the same. We're going to come over to settings. And we're going to come down, and there's going to be a setting called restore defaults. When you look at this menu, you've got restore sonar settings, restore chart settings, restore radar settings, restore nav data settings, and restore target settings, or restore factory defaults. With the Onyx, you can choose what part of the software that you want to basically restore. We've explained that. If you want to restore part of it, you can do that up here. If your sonar is something just seems weird, or you've got your settings out of whack, come up here and restore sonar settings. That a lot of times will restore what you want. Now, one thing I recommend before you change the restore defaults on here, or when you know your unit's running just the way you want it to, is hit exit. We're going to come back and we're going to come across the bottom to a thing called files. There is a file, export menu settings. It's going to export those menu settings. I don't have an SD card in. I have already done it. I've already exported them to a blank SD card. What this allows me to do is restore defaults, put my settings back in, and then I don't have to reset the whole unit. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit exit. We're going to come back to our settings, restore defaults. We're going to restore factory defaults. We're restoring factory defaults now. And it'll take a little bit for it to go through the whole system and get that done. Okay, now it's back to restoring the defaults. It asks for begin manual setup or import menu settings. I'm going to put my SD card back in the unit that has my initial settings. Now you see that highlighted to a white color. I'm going to import my settings, and I'm going to do the menu settings. After the settings are imported, the system will automatically restart. So what it's going to do, it's going to shut down, restart with your new settings. Now once it's done importing, we'll hit confirm and we're back to our original settings. I hope that helped you learn a little bit more about one of the coolest features of Humminbird is restoring your defaults and getting it back to where the factory set. So you're not afraid to adjust the settings. That's the biggest thing about these units, is going out there and learning how to do them and how to use them. Thank you for tuning in to another set of tips and tricks, and get out there and enjoy your Humminbird and spend more time on the water and catch more fish. Thank you for tuning in to another set of tips and tricks.